The holidays are usually a very hard time of year for a lot of people, myself included. You wake up thinking about your relatives that passed away, whether your grandparents, your uncle, your aunt, your siblings, your best friends, a teacher, a colleague, a mentor. You get the idea. I think that, you know, it's one thing to really miss a relative, but and I'm in no way trying to undermine how anyone feels. So I'm I don't mean to undermine how you feel. I'm not trying to make anyone feel less or feel invalidated or anything, but I'd say honestly the worst thing that you can or the worst thing that can have happen to you when a relative dies is when you two get into a fight and something is said or something that you said that was vindictive, but you didn't mean it, but you were in such a state of anger, you just slipped out, and you never really got the chance to say I'm sorry to them. You never got the chance to reconcile or for closure. Then that person dies, and you you just you you're filled with regret for the rest of your life because you had opportunities to say I'm sorry, you had opportunities to say I was wrong, but you passed them up, and now the person that you were or you had the quarrel with, you never got the chance to say I'm sorry, and you live with that regret for the rest of your life. It's happened to me before. Um, my grandfather and I had that type of argument. We said stuff to each other, but in the end, we always made up. You know, there were times we said sorry. You know, about a week or so. Let's see. No, about 6 months before I moved out, and I went up north in California to work for a couple of years. My grandpa and I got into a fight on 4th of July. Things were said, feelings were hurt, but I was angry and I was bitter. But thanks to my mother, I was able to overcome that and tell him I'm sorry. And he said he was sorry too. And when I saw him a year later, he of course was he had cancer and he passed away, rest his soul. But I was able to what is it? I was able to leave on good terms. I was able to I was able to reconcile whatever happened between us. We left on good terms. I miss him a lot, but I don't have to live with any regret because we didn't leave on a bad note. And to me, I think the guilt of knowing you had the opportunity to say I'm sorry, but you passed it up because you were bitter. But then that person that you loved died, and now you can't ever say I'm sorry, and you live with that guilt. To me, I think that's honestly a lot worse than them passing away because when you leave on good terms with someone, you have good memories. But when you don't, or when you say something mean and you never say I'm sorry, you live with that regret for the rest of your life. And that one bad memory could haunt you a lot worse than all the good ones you ever had. It just takes one bad thing. So with the holidays coming up, I just want you all to stay strong. The people that you care about. Sometimes we get into arguments, sometimes we get into fights, but I would like to say, um, keep the people close to you that matter the most. Be thankful for the ones you have in your life, because in the end, you're all each other's God. In the end, if you're able to leave on good terms, if that person goes to the grave that you cared about, when they pass away, you got to have at least one more good memory with them. Hey, that's something. It's a lot better than living with regret. So just, if you ever said something to somebody at one point, and or you got into an argument with someone, and you two actually have a genuine good relationship, don't forget it. And for some reason they won't ever say sorry. Sometimes you just got to be the bigger person and say, I'm sorry. Sometimes you just have to just set aside your pride, you know. So I figure I would leave on that note. And even if they don't want to hear it, at least you know you tried. That's better than nothing. But I figure I would leave on that note. So anyway, it's about 7:30. I gotta go to work at midnight. Anyway, figure I would make this video. I wouldn't want to do it since this morning, but I was tired. Anyway, love you guys. You're awesome.